beautiful Goldtone French chain necklace. It's 16¼ inches long. You're saving just about $19 here. First time we're offering it at this clearance price, $69.92 with those 4 easy monthly payments, $17 and change. I just want to say it right from the top. This will be presented later today. Our pieces are going quickly. If you love this one, if you fall in love with the story and the design, don't wait to place your order.
This is history. This is history that sometimes is good and sometimes is not good for others, but it's history. World War II was devastating. It was very bad for Americans, of course. We lost a lot of soldiers, but we didn't have the fighting taking place in our own country. But for Europe, World War II was totally devastating from one end to the other. After it was over, there was rare, other than Paris and London, which were not too badly damaged, all the other cities were torn apart. There was no place to live. There was no place to grow food. A massive 50 million people died. 50 million died in World War II. And there was nobody to run to grow food or do anything else. There was no place to grow it. It was devastating. And what people had, and some of them were able to save, they had no houses, they had no clothing, they had no food. They had, and smart enough, they had some jewelry, they shoved it in their pockets. That is how they survived. And how did they survive? They took their jewelry and they sold it to the only people left in Europe, the only people really in the world that had money, American soldiers. American soldiers in Europe, when they were the occupation forces, were sold. People would come up to them and I've got to offer you something. I'm going to give you something. Soldiers did not know what they were worth. They were American soldiers. They were farm boys. They were factory workers. These were people. They were Americans, and they were offered money, and they'd say, this particular set of jewelry that you're looking was offered to an American soldier who gave, we don't know how much money, whatever he gave, it allowed that family that he gave the money to survive. They survived, they could buy food, they could probably get themselves some housing, didn't give them that much, and the soldier put it in his pocket, and when he came home, he was a Philadelphia boy, and when he came home, he sold it to a Philadelphia jewelry store who gave him whatever it was. And Grace bought it.
Oh, that's amazing.
She bought this jewelry. It originally is a French piece. It was originally done in 14 karat. Didn't make a difference in those days, 14 and 18 karat. It was for the strength or the look, because gold was $32 an ounce. So what was the difference? The difference would have been $2 difference on the piece at the end, whether it's 14 or 18. She loved it, she bought it, and history went on. How could those people in Europe know that eventually this piece of jewelry they sold to an American soldier, what was taken back to Philadelphia, put into a jewelry store, would wind up being stored in a palace in Monaco?
Oh my gosh.
This is a piece of jewelry with history. There is a matching bracelet that we're going to show you in a few seconds on the two of them. She bought it. She was a teenager at the time. It was 14 karat. She didn't pay that much for it because the jeweler didn't pay the soldier that much. But whatever that soldier paid for it, the family survived in Europe. Who that family was, we don't know.
Wow.
But this was a piece of history wound up around her neck. She's saying goodbye to her brother, who's off to Europe to go off to what was called the Henley. Her father, by the way, people don't know how famous her father was. Her father won 3 gold Olympic medals.
Really?
3.
In what?
Her brother won 1 gold Olympic medal and 1 bronze in rowing, crew on it.
Well, I
which was a very big deal at that time.
On the river, of course, in Philadelphia. That's where they do all the boathouses.
That's where he used to practice. Exactly. That is what you have around her neck. Here she is, and you see it around her neck, and you see how beautiful it is. This is a piece of jewelry with a history to it.
So elegant.
It's world history. It started somewhere in Europe, probably France, saved the life of a family in Europe, came through a soldier, an American soldier, put it in his pocket, brought it back,